As an expert in your field, you know what constitutes best practices. However, sometimes it's hard to step back and clearly list the criteria that separate a stellar performance from a mediocre one. If you avoid clarifying that criteria, however, your students will be confused and probably annoyed, as your evaluations may then seem arbitrary. Clarifying how you evaluate classroom performance can profit greatly from a rubric. So what exactly is a rubric? A rubric is an objective set of criteria used to assess student work. You share your rubric with the students in order to help them structure and organize their work. They don't need to guess what you want from their assignment. The key to good rubrics is making your criteria measurable. Completely subjective grading criteria leave students in the dark and can foster resentment. So you need to clarify in your own mind exactly what you want. Let's take a look at a sample rubric. A business writing teacher has spent weeks polishing student grammar and drilling them on research techniques and citation mechanisms. Now it's time for students to strut their stuff. The instructor provides the following rubric. So far, so good. The teacher has selected 10 major elements on which to base student grades, worth 10 points each. That has the virtue of simplicity, but she's not out of the woods yet. She's not yet specified exactly what she's looking for. What makes a stellar executive summary worth a full 10 points? What's worth only 5? She starts thinking about the executive summary and she comes up with 5 requirements for the rubric. Meets the established length criteria for executive summaries. Follows the general format of the longer proposal. Has a clearly defined introduction and conclusion with transitions between paragraphs. Uses a tone appropriate for business executives without use of business jargon. Contains all the major points of the proposal. She then ranks the relative importance of these criteria, and she decides to apportion the 10 points in this way. Contains all major points is worth 3 points. Has clearly defined intro, conclusion, and transition, another 3 points. Uses proper tone, 2 points. The general format is worth 1 point, and meets the general length criteria is 1 point. You may have ordered the items differently, and that's okay. The ranking of the criteria is a reflection of your expertise in the subject matter and your teaching methods. The important thing to realize is that covering all the major points in the proposal should probably be worth more than getting the length requirements exactly right. A little over, a little under in terms of length should not be equated with leaving out a major point in the proposal. If your rubric does so, students will not perceive it as being fair. Obviously, you could also refine each of these points if you feel your students might need more guidance.